Hi friends, we're getting ready for Easter and we want those perfect hard-boiled eggs and easy to peel. So today we're going to do a hard-boiled egg. And also we're going to make a deviled egg recipe because we just have to have those for a nice little appetizer or our next summer picnic. So let's do this all together. So I'm starting with a pot of boiling water, and I have room temperature eggs. These ones are a little cooler than these, but they shouldn't crack. We're going to put a little salt into that boiling water. And we could use these for colored eggs also, right? And you're going to lower these down into and I'm using a slotted spoon. If you have a little strainer, you can do it that way. You're going to very carefully lower them into the boiling water. Now, the reason why we want them room temperature eggs is so that they don't crack. Because if they crack, we can't use them for our colored eggs. But if they crack, we can still use them for our deviled eggs. So let's take a look at that. All right, they're to a boil, but we want to lower this down to a simmer. You don't want a hard rolling boil. And we're going to put our timer on for about 12, it's about 12 minutes. It might vary a little bit on how many eggs you have. I've got, let's see, let's do 12. Let's do 11, actually. Oh, by the time I get this going. Yeah, let's do it at 11. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 eggs. You don't want them overcrowded. This is probably good. We probably could have had one more, 10 eggs. That would have been all right. So you want that to simmer and at a gentle simmer. So I turned it down to low, but we needed a little more than that. And keep in mind, keep watch over your pot. And this time, when they say watch a pot, it doesn't boil, but this you can watch because you don't. I had to put this down just a little bit because it was on the heat for a while. It was still getting a little bit more harder boil than I wanted. Our eggs have about 10 seconds, so we are going to put them in an ice bath. So I have my cold water running because we want that nice and cold to stop the cooking process. There goes our timer. Let's turn that off. Let's get it off the heat. And we had a gentle boil there. I had to play with the uh, temperature dial a little bit, but pretty much got it between, I think it was about 5 on my setting. I'm going to use a whole tray of ice. And we're going to very carefully take those out. Well, they should be nice and hard boiled, but we're going to use our slotted spoon or strainer because we don't want to add extra hot water to our ice bath. And we're going to let these sit in here for about 5 to 10 minutes, and they should be easy to peel for us. Or so if we were going on to the colored eggs, we're not going to peel them immediately, but after we soak them, if you're making like deviled eggs or just hard boiled eggs for your family, you'll want to peel these right away. All right, set the timer. We'll be back. Do 10 minutes. It's time to peel these eggs, so let's see if it worked. We should have perfectly cooked hard boiled eggs. I'm draining the water off right now. Actually, we could have kept some water in there if we wanted to peel some in there. Some people peel them under running water. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the egg and we're just going to crack that bottom part because there's a little more air in that bottom part. And what we want to do is we might need a spoon, but we want to get under that little thin membrane. And I got a nice little spoon that's kind of a little more pointed. And let's get under there because that will really help. Help us peel it easier. So here's real time, right? I pretty much followed the directions. Now there was a recipe. It's like not a recipe, but a method to do this. And this one was really similar to the one I thought I had a method where you do it like for 8 minutes. But I couldn't find that. So, well, this is going pretty good. I'm being gentle because I want to use these for deviled eggs and I want them to, so it's coming off relatively easy. I might be a little bit too fussy with it, but we want to have a nice presentation, right? Yeah, that's coming off pretty easy. Or not tearing up the egg. I'll see if I can get a little closer. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I'm happy. Happy. You know what? I'm gonna put a little paper towel on my plate because I'm gonna store these in the refrigerator. Gotta not make them up right away, but I'm gonna make them today. But, yeah, got a little plate going to stick them on. I was thinking about putting them in this bowl, but I think I'll just put them on that plate. All right, so let's get cracking. That's pretty easy. If you make hard-boiled eggs, you know the madness. Sometimes you tear up so much the egg, you're like, okay, I got the yolk and I have a little bit of the white. See if I can get a close up. See that little white? Can you see that little white membrane? That's what we're trying to get under. I'm just sliding my spoon around there. That should be. And I'll just do a few. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch, but look how easy that was. And we could run this under some cool water. Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful, right? You know what? Let's take a look at the inside. Let's do one more. Let's hope the inside is perfect. It should be. But you know when you're doing something for a video, sometimes things don't always turn out right. Can't tell you how many times I've recorded something and then my mic cut out, which let me double check. Yeah, it's good. I'm getting a little paranoid with that. I've tried a couple different mics to help with recording. There's one mic I really want to get, but it's expensive. I think it's like $300. But I've heard some people that do content creating and record videos, they really like it. So that's my goal. That's my goal. If I get monetized, then I can afford better mic. That's what I'm working towards. And I have like, I don't know, 120 something videos, getting close to 130. All right, so let's cut one open. Oh, something else on this Oh, that's good. All right, let's get a little plate. Let's get this little plate. And let's cut into this. Oh, yeah. That's perfect. Make sure there's no greenness. So see, that looks like it's perfect. I can't wait. I want to bite into this, but I'm gonna save them for my hard boiled. My deviled egg. So I'll do one more crack just to show you how easy it is. It is. This method is great. It is so far so good. I've got 3 eggs. Remember, I'm tapping on the and chopped off there. Tapping on the fat bottom. Supposedly more air rests there. I don't know. I might try the other just because I like to try things. Getting under that white membrane so we can easily glide. If you got a nice pointy type of spoon where you can easily glide under there, that would help. Yep, it's coming up pretty good. Just shimmying down the edge of the egg. Oh, I got a little bit of that membrane on there. Let's rinse that off. All right, so I'll finish peeling those, but you can see it works pretty good. So I'm really happy with this method of boiling eggs. Give the end a tap. I've tried it on the fat end and the bottom end. The fat end and the narrow end, and this is the narrow end. And actually it's working pretty quick. And I'm just taking my little pointed spoon and I'm going under that white membrane of the egg to get that shell off, and I'm not tearing up a bunch of the egg. So actually they're turning out pretty smooth. So this method, you want to boil the water. Just be careful not to jab your egg. Boil the water, put room temperature eggs into the boiling water, reduce it to a light, oh look how, hello. I know you can't see my head, but I'm happy with that. That came right off. Rinse it in a little cold water. Yeah, gentle boil for 12 minutes. Take them out immediately and put them in an ice bath for about 5 to 10 minutes. I did a full 10 minutes, and voila, we get to easily peel our eggs and it won't drive us nutty, and you'll have beautiful deviled eggs, hard-boiled eggs. Now, of course, we're not going to peel them right away if we're coloring them, but this method makes your eggs so creamy because let me show you. This is how it turned out. We don't have that yucky green, blue outside to the yolk on the outside of the yolk. These are perfect, creamy, hard-boiled eggs. Hey friends, I want to remind you that I am putting out also a video on some Easter appetizers. Got a very cute recipe crescent rolls that are shaped like carrots, and we've got some sweet and savory fillings. So that's coming up. Keep watch. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so that you make sure you get those videos. And I'm going to be posting a couple other Easter dishes for Easter and for your Easter celebration. And then also, I have already videos on Passover. So if you're celebrating Passover, when Passover starts in a few days, I'll just want to remind you of those. I'll try to put it up there. We'll see how good I am with that. But yeah, I've got quite a few. So I've got like a Passover recipe for haroset. So if you're familiar with Passover, that's the apple dish that represents the mortar that the Egyptians were building Pharaoh's city with. So that's part of the Passover meal. We have a recipe for that. And then I have a little discussion about Passover, especially for Christians. If you're a Christian and you want to, you see some of your friends celebrating Passover and you're like, what's this all about? So explain a little bit. We've been celebrating Passover for a little over 20 years now, and it's a great enrichment to see the symbolism also of Jesus being the Passover lamb. So anyway, I go into great detail. Go ahead and catch those videos if you're interested in that. And got a lot coming up. I also have a series on some of our favorite old-fashioned desserts. I posted one a couple weeks ago. I did old-fashioned peanut butter frosting with a chocolate cake. We're at the last little bit of that cake. That was so delicious. So you want to catch that series because we're going to have some fun desserts coming up. So got so much more here at Back to Home with Doreen. And if you've been following me for over a year, thanks a lot. And slowly growing. So happy spring. I've taken some of the egg yolks and I'm starting to put them in my mini chopper because we're going to give that a good blend with our mayonnaise, some Dijon mustard, a little horseradish. That's a little something different. And we're going to give this a good blend to make it nice and smooth. And we'll stuff our eggs. And I put these in the fridge so these eggs were chilled. So if I did this warm, I might just use the fork to blend it. But since I've had this chilling in the fridge, I thought it would be better just to... And you see, those yolks came out perfect with that method we used. Got about 18 eggs, or we had 9 eggs. We'll have 18 deviled eggs. Gonna stuff the halves. All right, so let's give that a little blend. Kind of doing that little coarse like sand. Let's take a look at that. And now we're going to add our wet ingredients. Gotta get this back down in there. It's not gonna... I think I got it in there, right? There we go. All right. A little salt and pepper. And we're going to use about 4 to 5. We'll start with 4 tablespoons of mayo. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what did I do with my teaspoon? Use a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. So this batch I'm serving to adults, so I'm not worried about the horseradish because the group I'm serving today, they like spicy. So we're gonna use about a half. I've got this kosher horseradish that's creamed up. Let's use a half a teaspoon. And let's give it a blend. Woo, looks nice and creamy. Let's give it a little taste, see if we need any more seasoning or anything. That's good. I'm gonna use like a little more mayo. That is good. You know what? I could take a tiny bit more horseradish, maybe. That's good. I'm gonna give it like maybe a quarter teaspoon of more of Dijon. Pinch more salt and a bit more black pepper. Oh, that's pretty good. And let's use another quarter teaspoon. You want that well incorporated. So take a look at that creamy. Turned out really creamy. So let's go ahead and stuff these or fill them. Make sure this is good and dry. There we go. All right, I'm gonna use a melon baller. You can use piping, but kind of in a rush, and I don't want to take that extra step, and I don't want to. Let's see. Is that gonna be enough? I don't know if I like that. We might use another little spoon like that. I thought that would be like the perfect size, but if I wanted to make these real pretty, I could put them in a piping with a little tip, but I don't have a lot of time, so I'm kind of just. Every time I make deviled eggs, I'm like, oh, I wish I had bought one of those little deviled egg trays, and I thought I did have one, but looking through my stuff and I didn't see it, so. On half, we'll put some chives, put smoked paprika on some of them. It's pretty much the classic way. Of course, what's a little different is the horseradish. And I think it's kind of mild. I didn't put too much. Like I said, you want to adjust your flavorings to most of your crowd. If you have somebody come that loves deviled eggs, but they don't like spicy, then don't put it in. Doing the filling for all this? Yeah. I'm rushing for the clock today. Ooh, these are good. Definitely not going to have enough filling for all of them. So probably if I did a whole nother tablespoon of mayo. Maybe 2 more I'll get filled. I'll wash my hands. I don't want the whites to get all the filling on there. All right. I'm going to finish this couple. I probably can do like 2 more. And we'll sprinkle a little chives and paprika.